Okay, so I found this on the ground. Please leave the pineapple behind for someone else to find. Inside we have a heart sticker, a bee sticker, and a cool little marble thing. So I guess I have a mission now. Put stuff in here and leave it behind. I just carried home that base like 10 blocks or something. That was a long walk. That thing's heavy. I also carried this stand at the same time, and somewhere along the way I lost the bottom. So I'm gonna go back on a journey to find it. We have to plant the pineapple somewhere anyways, because I put some stuff in it. I put a button, and shout out to Anthony, that bass's former roommate for the guitar pick, Jimi Hendrix. I never know how to hold these things in the mirror. So that's that. I went to the beach today. I swam in the ocean. The sky's kind of purple. Life is good. Fucking found it. I found it in the middle of the sidewalk. Yeah. And some Billy Ocean cassettes. Righteous Brothers Unchained Melody cassette. I think I'm also taking. So many goodies today. I think this seems like a good spot for this. There you go. Hiding with the flowers. Let's do this. How's my tie? Hi everybody! If you're watching this video, then that probably means that you've watched my last two videos. If you haven't, then maybe you should. This video is going to be a lot less rambly than last week's video. Today, we're gonna get into the puzzle. So last week, we talked about music. The answer to that question is, who cares? That seems to be the answer to a lot of questions, actually. But there's actual answers to this week's question. What is positive? When I say what is positive, you might think, what is awesome? What is good? What is makes me go thumbs up? And that can be what positive means. But when I'm asking what is positive, I'm asking what is the concept of positive? Positive is everything that is, basically. Everything that we can see, touch, gauge, measure. Anything that exists in the physical world is positive. This is my very special notebook with my ridiculously good ideas in it. So positive is everything that we can count, basically. The best way to understand the concept of positive is to just understand that it is the opposite of the concept of negative. So when we're talking about positive and negative, we are talking about the two ultimate opposites. Call it duality, call it particle physics, call it whatever you want. I'm talking positive, negative. If negative means everything that isn't, positive means everything that is. Positive is substance. It's the stuff that makes everything. If negative is the void that pulls, positive is the thing that can fill the void. So they're not actually different because one can't exist without the other, but they are very, very different because they work in completely opposite ways. But what does that mean though? Because that could mean a lot of different things. Another good way to explain the concept of positive is thermodynamics. So when something's hot, when you touch the stove and you go, youch, that hurt. It's because you got burned. And the reason you got burned is because all of the energy that was condensed in that one stove element, because there was so much of it in one spot, and your hand had less energy than the stovetop. So when you touched it, all of that energy went, oh boy, there's somewhere to go! And it rushed into your hand so fast that it burned your skin. Cold basically means no energy. Cold isn't a thing, really. Cold is just the lack of energy. I'm sure you learned about solids and liquids and gases while you were in school, you probably learned about how when the molecules of any given thing, let's say water, are moving really, really fast, then they take up more space, which creates something like steam or a gas. And when they get really condensed and stop moving, they freeze and turn into ice. It's not that cold took over the water and overcame the hot. It's that the hot left. The energy pieced out. And when energy pieces out, you're left with nothing. And when you're left with nothing, it feels cold. Another good way to explain it is light. Darkness isn't a substance. Darkness isn't anything at all. Darkness is just the absence of light. Light would be the idea of positive. The concept of positive and negative can be translated to a lot of different things, such as hot and cold, light, dark, daytime, nighttime, push and pull, high and low, growth, destruction, life, death, above, below. Yes, no. You get the idea. So you can understand why the idea of positive can be applied to a lot of different things. It's kind of like one of the major pieces of the puzzle. And you can understand why that concept is applied to more abstract things, such as mindset, have a positive attitude, think positively, you get net positive money, you're feeling positive. It's an idea that is pretty simple to understand. Yeah, duh, this is a thing. That's a thing, that's a thing. All the things that are things that are positive because they exist. The other thing with this question is you can't talk about it without also mentioning negative, because negative is kind of the thing that makes positive exist in the first place. Positive wouldn't exist if it didn't have negative to exist off of. For every positive thing that happens, there is also a negative thing that happens. In particle physics, for every particle that exists, there is an anti-version of the same particle that also exists. We have protons and neutrons. You got bosons and antibosons. You got quarks and antiquarks. For every positive, there has to also be a negative. There just has to be. They're not really separable. Two halves of the same whole. Two sides of the same coin. So we're talking about the one side of the coin today. That's pretty much it. This is a concept you can explain to like a 3-year-old. There's not much of a theory on how positive works. It does. There's a lot of theories on how negative works. Which is why we're going to elaborate on it next week when we ask the question, what is negative? It's a weird one, trust me. It's really weird, really weird. However simple you think positive is, negative is like, what is happening? I miss my puzzle ball. Every day I miss it. So we're gonna make a little tiny version of it. And we're starting with positive. We'll put it here. Positive. You'll never guess where I'm gonna put negative. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, never stop asking questions. I sure hope I'm in focus. Ta-da! Welcome to your new home base. Home base.